Very good evening to you as you join us for tonight's live game. Unfortunately, the weather for it is forecast to be less than ideal. We are expecting intermittent spells of heavy rain, which just might impact on the quality of the football. I don't think it's going to be sufficient to prevent the football from being played, nor indeed has it deterred the many, many fans who are in here and already generating a terrific atmosphere ahead of the game, which kicks off any moment now.
Well, this really is a great venue. It adds so much character to every game in stages.
The lineup we have suggests it's going to be a 4-5-1 formation, Jim.
Well, most teams that use this system, Peter, will work it in a way where, yes, they'll have a 4-5-1 shape off the ball and ideally a 4-3-3 shape on it. We often see that 4-1-4-1 shape too, and that has an obvious flexibility about it. It's a popular managerial selection because of that. It's just extremely flexible with all the numbers I've mentioned.
So it's away we go then.
As they might, they just couldn't get into an attacking area.
He's in space and looking for options. The referee's awarded a free kick.
Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning.
Towering header! Oh, just needed a better contact.
Well, plenty of moving targets to pick out in the box. Obviously increases your chances of the ball being met like that by someone.
Defenders on the back foot. The ball needed to be better there. It's a wasted chance. Lobs it in gently. Played back in. He's left it. He'll have a dig! A real chance to break. Played out to the right. Well played. He saw that coming. Gets it upfield. And out to safety. Of the match, or thereabouts, gone, and we still await the first goal. There's a long ball. Shoots! They've scored!
And how about the timing of the pass and run? They've worked it before and no doubt they'll work it again.
A 1-0 lead established.
And that ought to be the trigger for a really exciting and entertaining game from here on.
It's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing.
That'll be a throw. Reaching half-time and still behind. They make something happen now.
Lovely bit of skill there. Hoists it high.
Could be thinking about a shot here.
Hits one! really well taken goal.
Oh, listen, the writing was on the wall. It looked like this was going to happen, and it has. The understanding between those two plays a big part in that, and releasing the run on side proved the key ingredient.
We hit half-time. Genuinely interesting game here. Very, very watchable. 2 goals, 1 each. What do you think we're up to after 45 minutes?
Well, we thought this would be close, Peter, and it's proving us right so far. They're well matched, and it presents a fascinating battle of wits to see who'll emerge on top or otherwise.
That's a really interesting game, and they head in at half-time at 1-1. Second half then, just getting going. He's got options out wide. That's been levered clear. Over to the left. Too long getting forward.
Well, the whole idea of a good breakaway is to leave the opposition struggling to get back, and they were just too slow.
That's a foul. Free kick's been given. That's a booking, always looked it. Fence has got rid of that. He slid it through. Clearance and very necessary. He's found his man, going for goal! That really should have hit the net. Some activity down on the touchline. It seems there's going to be a change. Pushes it out wide, back into the middle. The accusatory stare there tells the whole story.
Druha seemed to have chosen a tougher route through the middle. That was easily read and dealt with.
A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. So, time for changes on both sides, actually.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
And shoots! That is wayward. get it forward quickly. Hits one!
Oh, that's incredible! And that has raised the roof!
Yeah, looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
When the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that favour.
That's how you make an impact as a sub. You know, when most are tiring, you can impose a freshness and energy to best effect. What an introduction.
Having turned the game on its head, now can they hold out?
There's still a bit left in it, Peter, but they should find the necessary to avoid a slip-up now.
Well, it remains to be seen whether they can come up with that little bit of class to rescue this situation, and it needs to be any time now, really.
Can he finish? It's there! And that should do it! Within sight of the finish line.
The invitation was received with such a clever run, and he had that defence in utter confusion.
Two up, and that's that. What a match, what a comeback. That is how to respond to adversity. Truly deserving winners. Your final thoughts, Jim?
Look, this is a team that doesn't look as if it's daunted away from home. They were organised and determined, and they can surprise again if that standard is maintained.
Thanks to Jim. We both wish you a very good evening.